Sunky.MPeg is one of the most beloved creatures in the entire Sonic.exe community, as well as one of my personal favorites because he's entirely a Joke EXE. Anything that happens in his story or his games shouldn't be taken seriously because his mere existence is satire itself. When talking about Joke EXEs, Sunky.MPeg is obligatory in the genre. Come on, the weird Sonic fanboy? Okay, never mind. Today we'll be diving into the idea of Sunky and Sunky.MPeg, and by the end of the video you should have a good understanding of what Sunky is, as well as why he was so popular nearly a decade ago, with big YouTubers such as Markiplier covering him. Sunky was created by Looney Dude on December 29th of 2014, over an entire decade ago. However, this is likely not the Sunky you know him as. This version of Sunky is not the Sonic.exe parody. The EXE parody story was released on April 14th of 2015, and the game came very soon after on May 11th of 2015. Sunky does have non-EXE games, but these did not release until July 8th of 2015. The original Sunky was a joke character based on Sonic that was featured in a comic series called Sunky the Comic, which you can find on his continued EXE fandom page. Sunky himself does not have much lore aside from being a parody of Sonic, but we do understand from the comics that he is very much different personality-wise in comparison to Sonic. Little bits of this that we see, for example, is that Sunky does not talk much, but he does whisper when the plot requires him to. Just like Sonic having tails and knuckles, Sunky has TLs and knickknacks, with the best name here going to Robotnik. Ability-wise, Sunky does have quite a few, and his first power is walking, which, yeah, I guess that's pretty cool considering that's a power that apparently 12.2% of people do not have in the US, or struggle with. He also has Toon Force, which is very self-explanatory, as well as stretchy arms, which the wiki specifically states it's unknown if he can stretch his legs, but he can only use this power to do good. Lastly, if he absorbs the power of the 7 Chaos Emmer dudes, he can become Super Sunky. As mentioned earlier, Sunky does have a normal game as well as a sequel game, but I won't spend too much time talking about those, and instead I'll probably just mention the most notable parts about them. They're pretty much your typical Sonic parody games meant to be satirical and goofy. They're mostly filled with funny gags during the levels, such as obstacles automatically moving out of the way, and enemies being destroyed by the sheer presence of Sunky alone. My personal favorite though is forcing Sunky to move back and forth, doing as these signs tell you, until the floor will fall out from underneath of you, in which you'll see a sign that says, "Since you were angry from all the walking, I made you wet. How do you like that, dingus?" Well, f you too. With all that out the way, in terms of random facts and trivia regarding Sunky. Number 1, his favorite hobby is to dance and eat cereal. Not even gonna lie, that's pretty relatable. Number 2, Sunky cannot jump, which we do see in his games. He is very much incapable of jumping. Number 3, he likes popcorn chicken. Now, personally, I've never seen someone who dislikes popcorn chicken, and I think if you do, we gotta eviscerate you on sight. I'm sorry, buddy. Now let's move on and discuss Sunky.mpeg. Now this is likely where you all know Sunky from. Sunky.mpeg is a parody story and game mocking the original Sonic.exe for its horrid writing. Due to its length, I won't be reading the whole thing out loud, but I will pick and choose 3 of my favorite moments in the entire trollpasta, and I'll read those. Number 1, I was so shocked by what had happened. Did Sunky have a silly dance party with TLs? No, he couldn't have. He and TLs were supposed to be waiting till marriage, right? Number 2, but the creepiest thing was Sunky. He had these red eyes that were looking right at something that was most likely me. His mouth was very slightly more smilish, and it was really spoopsy, guys. Boy, for something on screen for only a few seconds, I sure didn't notice everything in precise detail. I brushed this conveniently evil image off as just a glitch like anyone else in my position would. Number 3. Suddenly, Dr. Robotnik's spectacles disappeared. At the top of my lungs, I yelled, "Oh no, Dr. Robotnik, where are your spectacles?" My next door neighbor told me to be quiet, so I threw a very colorful milk carton at him. The entirety of Sunky.mpeg is essentially Sunky forcing his friends, TLs, knickknacks, and Robotnik to dance. It's entirely filled with funny gags, one of my favorites being this little dude with the sign, "I am dead." Now, I feel like I'm not alone on this, but I believe Sunky.mpeg's mere existence is the best thing to happen as a result of Sonic.exe existing on the timeline. The singular line, "I occasionally sunk," outdoes "I am God" so much that it's not even funny. It's fucking hilarious. Of course, we also have Silly.tiff to cover, which mocks the game Sally.exe, but sadly there is no written story that I could find of a sequel to this masterpiece we just discussed. In Silly.tiff, the game starts off with Silly giving us a fake blue screen. We then get a title screen of TLs and knickknacks clearly having been partying it out with Amy in the center. Basically, it goes the same as Sally.exe. Amy follows Sunky into a ring, she hits a goal in the special stage, but instead of dying, she gets to walk up to a table before Sunky uses his psychic powers to pour cereal and milk. To not make the video longer than necessary, I'm gonna speed it up a bit from here. So Cream's stage is almost exactly the same as in Sally.exe, but instead of dying to a bunch of spikes, she will hit a stop box and will then go eat cereal. Silly's stage will be nearly identical to the one in the original Sally.exe, except when the walls get extremely close, Sunky will then appear like the absolute Chad he is to reverse it all and pour cereal directly into Silly's mouth. The game will then cut to a cutscene that wraps up, and the game is complete from here. Sunky has had quite a few other appearances throughout media, in which I'll be mentioning 3 of these. The first appearance we're going to be going over is his appearance in the Versus Sonic.exe mod for Friday Night Funkin', in which he was a secret character where you had to press up, down, left, right to access his stage. He was originally Sunky.mpeg in the mod, but they changed his model to normal Sunky. His second appearance also has to do with Friday Night Funkin', in which he got his own mod with 3 songs. While it didn't add a new week, it did add these songs in the level select. 2 of these songs are actually references, with them being named Level Fun and Gotsa Go Fest, which are references to piece of text that appeared in Sunky.mpeg. The final appearance I'll be mentioning is his appearance in the Sonic.exe Bratwurst/Torrent animations. These animations are more specifically bonuses and are not canon to the Bratwurst.exe in any way. Sonic.exe will look behind him as a shadowy silhouette jumps onto the ground, only for it to be Sunky, and I think Sonic.exe here gave just the right reaction.
What the fuck?
Sunky will begin to walk towards him with his signature dance moves until he stops right in front of Sonic.exe to cure his chronic nut allergy. Sunky will then stare into Sonic.exe's non-existent soul as Sunky.mpeg comes out to explode his head. Sunky will then immediately go back to dancing away like the absolute Chad he is. The second animation features Sonic.exe in the hospital before Sunky bursts through the window, annoying Sonic.exe's crippled form before standing over him and staring at him. Sonic.exe knows what Sunky is planning. He knows what he'll do to his already mangled body. Sunky punches him in his broken arm, and it's funny because we thought he would blow up his head again. Laugh, damn it. Sunky has always been a beloved figure in the EXE community for a plethora of reasons. Much like Sonic.exe Nightmare Beginning showed us that EXE games can be good, even drowning in a sea of whatever this is, Sunky showed us that Sonic.exe was really horrid and we should poke more fun at it because then we get little adorable masterpieces such as this. Sunky will always have a place in the heart of the EXE community because he's simply one of the cornerstones of trollpasta or joke horror media. In my personal eyes, he is the pillar of joke Sonic.exe stories, and this is why he's one of my favorites. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Peace.
My name is